Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing wonderfully great. The other day I was out here with a good friend of mine and a fig enthusiast, Amanda, and in our fig walk, I spotted a fig that I've already reviewed once before, and that is the Brooklyn White. Now, at the time, that fig was not exactly ripe, so I was hoping to get it before the end of the growing season, and that is this fig right over here. Okay, so it's not 100% ripe, but it's ripe enough for us to harvest and weigh and try before the insects get to it. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of descriptive analysis, so to speak, here before we take it inside and cut it open and see what it's all about, right? So again, in case you guys did not see the part one of this fig review, this is supposedly the Genary. It has been growing in ground for about a year. So this is 1 year growth. What do you guys see here? And we are now towards the tail end of the growing season here in Virginia Zone 7. Now, the Brooklyn White doesn't seem to think so because we've got very little yellowing on the leaves, and the fig just seems to keep on growing and growing, whereas some of my other varieties, like the Celeste and some other ones, are definitely going into hibernation slowly. Same thing for the white Marseille that I'll show you guys here in about a second. You can see a lot of yellowing on the leaves there. That fig is just about done producing figs and leaves and everything else, and is going to go into hibernation for the winter. But that's not the case here for the Brooklyn White. And we did get this one fig. We got another one earlier. There's still quite a few that I simply don't think are going to ripen in time to make another video. But you never know. In Virginia, we might get a longer growing season than we think. Now, there's this other fig that's already fallen off the tree, and I did not get a chance to harvest it. I think it's already spoiled, so I'm not going to even make an effort to attempt to sample that. And plus, it's a little bit on the smaller side, so I'll just take this one inside and cut it open, and we can do a very quick taste test and see how it compares to the first one. Now, before I do so, one of the complaints about the Brooklyn White is that the eye is a little larger than desired, and sometimes insects like ants tend to crawl inside and maybe ruin the experience, or maybe even spoil the fig. But in this case, I'd say the eye it's definitely more open than some of the other fig varieties that I have, but not open enough to where I might be afraid it might split or spoil or invite insects and stuff. So let's go ahead and take this inside, cut it open, and see what it's all about. All right, guys, I'll see you guys inside. All right, guys, so here we are back inside, and I've brought the only other Brooklyn white fig that we harvested this year. Again, this is not a representative example of what a Brooklyn White can achieve size-wise, or maybe even flavor-wise, but it certainly is reminiscent of a Brooklyn White in terms of color and shape and so forth. This tree was very young, and so obviously these figs are not going to be at their maximum potential. So let's just go ahead and weigh these, and we'll cut it open and take it from there. All right. So this does weigh 16 grams, which is surprisingly larger than I initially expected. I thought this would be maybe 11 or 12 grams, considering it's not a very it's not a fig that's very big in size. Now, these two tend to grow much larger than this, maybe twice as big as this, and even more. I've heard stories where this fig grows as large as a yellow longneck, actually. So very surprised to see that it's already 16 grams. I expected something less. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut it open and see what this is all about. And as I like to do traditionally, just cut the stem off. And right away I can see that this is underripe. From the stem, we've got a little bit of latex there that I find quite unpleasant actually. And let's cut it open and see what the color is on the inside. Oh yes, we get that that amber color. So this is representative of the honey-berry family, which is exactly the family that this fig is in. So we should expect hopefully the best of both worlds, or maybe more of a deviation from a straight honey fig, like maybe a Latarula or a white Marseille or something like that, right? So let's go ahead and try this and see if it's any good. I will be cutting off this top part, however, because I'm just not a fan of this latexy type taste. It's just, I don't find it to be very pleasing. So I'm just going to go ahead and cheat and cut that top part off. All right, let's see what this is all about. No. Yeah, this is a very good fig. I wish it was a little more ripe so I could appreciate it a little bit more. I think the fact that it's kind of underripe has a lot of the notes muted, and I would like them to be a little more expressed, a little more intense. But is it a pleasant experience? Absolutely it is. I think this would make a great dry fig, and it would be one of the one of the few times where not a straight white or a straight dark fig would make a great dry fig. Could you make this into jam? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't have that many right now to attempt that experiment. I've made a lot of jams with Chicago Hardy's Celeste and White Marseille figs separately, of course, and sometimes mixed together. And the darker the fig, the better the jam, in my opinion. But I think this would make a great jam. It does have a nice taste to it, and the skin, despite its remarkable thickness, well, at least in this case, doesn't seem to have a bad taste at all. But yeah, overall I strongly recommend this fig. Do let it tree ripen. The insects will try to attack it and eat it before you do, but hopefully if you have a larger tree, you get a lot of these to where you can share with nature and with friends and family, and there's still a lot left over for you to consume as well. Okay, I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, this is part 2 of the Brooklyn White Fig, and I hope to catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.